Greetings and welcome back. I'm Vanessa Klinger, and welcome to The Way I See It. Last week, we talked about the transfer window, that uncomfortable space where the life you knew no longer fits, but the life you're moving toward hasn't completely taken shape yet. And I've been thinking about what happens after that, because sometimes you can become aware that something has changed. You can know you're looking at life differently and still find yourself responding to experiences through beliefs you've carried for a very long time. And that made me think about something that happened in my own life. There was a friendship where, over time, I developed a very strong belief about the nature of the connection. And then things started happening that seemed to support what I believed. We would finish each other's sentences. There were coincidences that seemed almost too specific to ignore. I remember us even showing up to an event wearing virtually identical baseball caps. And every time something like that happened, I thought, there it is, more evidence. One experience reinforced another, then another, and before long, I wasn't simply observing what was happening anymore. I was collecting evidence. Looking back, I've had to ask myself a very different question. Were those experiences creating my belief? Or had my belief begun influencing the meaning I assigned to those experiences? Because those are two very different things. The experiences happened, I'm not dismissing them. But awareness has taught me that what happens and what I decide it means are not necessarily the same thing. And that's where belief becomes fascinating. Once we believe something, we naturally begin noticing the things that appear to support it. Emotion becomes involved, our bodies respond, memories connect, patterns emerge, and each new experience can make the original belief feel even more convincing. Eventually, we're no longer dealing with something we merely think is true. We're experiencing something that feels true. And maybe that's why some beliefs are so difficult to challenge. We're not simply questioning an idea, we're questioning years of experiences we've interpreted as evidence that the idea was correct. So here's what I've been asking myself. What if some of the evidence I've collected wasn't proving my belief, but revealing the belief through which I was looking? That's something worth sitting with. And it's exactly where we're going this week on Awareness with Vanessa. We're continuing the secret architecture of the simulation with week 10, why the simulation feels real, the psychology behind belief, agreement, and reinforcement. We're going deeper into how beliefs become reinforced, how the human avatar can respond to what it has accepted as true, and how those responses can create experiences that seem to confirm the original belief. In other words, how does something we believe eventually become something we experience as reality? And if you've been following the larger journey through the human experience universe, you'll recognize why this question matters. The books explore the human experience through the lens of consciousness, identity, choice, perception, and the possibility that there may be more operating beneath our everyday reality than we ordinarily stop to consider. The books in the human experience universe are available on Amazon, and this week's conversation continues exploring many of those ideas through Awareness with Vanessa. So before Thursday, I want you to observe something. Don't try to change anything, just notice. What do you believe? And when something happens that seems to prove that belief, ask yourself, am I observing evidence? Or am I interpreting an experience through something I've already agreed is true? There may be a very important difference. That's the way I see it. I'll see you Thursday for why the simulation feels real. Until then, question everything, observe more, live aware.